Hi, this is John Cristofalusi. We're about to watch a Bob Clampett cartoon. Bob Clampett's my favorite cartoon director of all time, and this is my favorite cartoon that he made. It's called The Great Piggy Bank Robbery. I first saw this when I was about 22 years old. I was in college learning animation, and boy, I saw this thing and it completely changed my life. I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen, and I still think it is. Right from the opening scene of this cartoon, when you first see Daffy Duck walking back and forth in front of the mailbox, look at the urgency in his walk. That is so cool. Look at those poses. Holy crap. This is Izzy Ellis, as far as I know. Just the way Daffy is moving in these stark poses is just, I'd never seen anything like it. Watch these. He goes behind the mailbox. I love when they draw human hands with 3 fingers. It's really sick. Whoa! Look, there he is, insane. This is the Daffy Duck I love. They changed Daffy later into kind of a jerk character, greedy and selfish and stuff like that. So he wasn't Daffy. This is Daffy. This is a guy that just can't control his urges, like me. This is a scene animated by Rod Scribner. It's just beautiful acting. This is a great one to freeze frame. You see some really cool drawings in here. Look at how his head keeps changing size and stuff depending on his expression. Clampett's cartoons are about feelings. The drawings represent the feelings. He's not as concerned about the model sheets as some of the other directors. This is Bill Melendez here, who used to be an assistant to Rod Scribner and learned a lot from him. And he was a very exaggerated, great animator in his own right afterwards.
I'm gonna pin it on you, see? I'm gonna pin it on you.
That was Dick Tracy. Saw a little silhouette of Dick Tracy in there.
Or my name ain't Duck Tracy.
An interesting thing about Clampett's cartoons is you can tell the difference between the animators. The style keeps changing from scene to scene. Here Daffy's drawn pretty conservatively. It's good, and he's telling the jokes, but it's going to cut to a close-up and get crazier.
Piggy bank? French phone. Sorry, too small.
Here we go. There's Rod Scribner. There's somebody else.
Piggy bank's in a safe place, like I do. It's gone!
Here's a cool scene. I love this. Check out the teeth. Nice. Okay, here's Rod Scribner. That was a great cut. It went from one animator to Rod Scribner. This is the scene. If you freeze frame this scene, you're going to see the weirdest damn drawings in your life. You got to check out Daffy's beak. I'm not going to say what it is, but you better watch it with the blinds down.
The gangster's hideout.
What really struck me about this cartoon was that it was so different in the way it was executed than any other director's cartoon I'd ever seen before. Look at the exaggeration. Clampett exaggerates everything. It's just got so much energy. It's all about Daffy Duck, and Daffy Duck is obviously the most energetic character ever in cartoons. And here he is being handled by the most energetic director in cartoons. And the thing is just non-stop. Another neat thing about Clampett's cartoons is they have atmosphere. This is like a film noir cartoon here. Oh, here's a cool scene. This is on for about half a second, but look at Porky Pig's eyes. I remember when I first saw that, I thought that was the coolest design of Porky I'd ever seen. They're pointy on top and they're round at the bottom, which is kind of a thing that developed in the late 30s, and then Chuck Jones kind of was influenced by that.
Ingenious. Duck Tracy is too smart for a trick like that. I shall ring the bell from here.
Bob Clampett was influenced by Milt Gross. See, look at the shapes. The odd, like not sensible perspective shapes. He said he got that from Milt Gross, a comic strip and comic book artist of the 20s to the 40s. He's a really great cartoonist.
Must be the human fly.
There's a great scene coming after this. When I first saw it, it reminded me of, I don't know if anybody that grew up in the 60s will remember Weirdo Models and Nutty Mads and Big Daddy Ed Roth. Check out this rat. I think those guys were all influenced by this stuff, this old 40s. When Warner Brothers cartoons were really insane, they kind of made ugly characters beautiful, which of course influenced me as well. Here we go. My friend Eddie Fitzgerald thinks that this scene was inspired by a scene in The Maltese Falcon, when Humphrey Bogart comes out of a coma and looks up at Sidney Greenstreet and Peter Lorre, a couple of other characters.
Picklepuss! Pumpkinhead! Neon Noodle!
Really cool thing that Clampett does is he uses word music. If you listen to how the characters read their dialogue, it's almost musical.
All under arrest!
Well, Clampett's cuts are really amazing too. Really great contrast. He'll go from the character being huge on the screen to being tiny. Of course, this is a takeoff of Chester Gould's Dick Tracy cartoon, and that was Flat Top that you saw. Oh, this scene kills me. This is very strange. I like the logic in Bob's cartoons.
Fantastic! And furthermore, it's unbelievable! Boo.
This is just a typical Warner Brothers sort of gag. Here we go. Whoa, check that out. That is the weirdest damn thing ever. Clampett told me that they sort of wrote themselves into a corner there. They had Daffy run through the door, and then all those guys got stuck in the door, but they needed him to come out again, and he couldn't figure out how. So Bob said, well, just have his parts wriggle through the little spaces between all the bodies. I said, that's a perfect cartoon idea. I mean, completely nonsensical and bizarre. Like, no one else would have thought that up. It was just a weird damn thing, and that's what I love about Clampett's cartoons. Beyond the fact that they're directed so well, is he just thinks up weird stuff that everyone else would say if you brought that gag to them. Hey, Frizz, can we have Daffy wriggle through these other bodies? He'd say, that's weird. No one would believe it. That's impossible. You can't do that. Well, that's what I love about it, is that it is impossible, and you can't do that, so Bob does it. And at the same time, you know, you believe the character. The character's so intense and so human, even though he's a duck, that it makes you feel like you're there, like all these weird things actually can happen because the characters are so strong. It was everything a cartoon should be. It was the whole meaning of cartoons. It was fast, super lively. That cartoon just distilled what it is about animation that's so different than every other medium.